What's up, YouTube fam? It's Patrick. It's always good to practice with you guys. Today we're going to do some hip opening stuff. I think you'll really enjoy it. Let's start in a squat position today. So go ahead and come into your little passive squat, however that feels good to you. And if this position is challenging for you as it is, go ahead and bring your fingertips down, rise onto the toes. You can support yourself here, or you can even put a blanket underneath the heels to help you feel a little bit of support. And then go ahead and lift the collarbones up and just sway around a bit. So you're kind of feeling some movement into the hips, helping wake everything up. Find a nice ease to your energy. And we'll do some vigorous stuff in the practice today, but one of our big goals is really, again, just to help create space and to create awareness as we move into that space. So it'll be active, it'll be strong, it'll be connected. Then from here, go ahead and bring your right fingertips behind your back, lift your spine up nice and tall. I want you to drop your left knee down towards the floor, and then lift your left knee back up. We'll do that 2 more times. Drop the left knee down towards the floor, and then lift the left knee back up. Drop the left knee down towards the floor, and lift the left knee back up. Switch sides, left fingertips come behind the back, and the reason we're doing that is to keep the spine long. So of course you can do this without the hand. Drop the right knee down, and lift up. Drop the right knee down and lift up. Drop the right knee down and lift up. Come back to center, bring your hands to fists, lift the fists up and down a few times, even bounce the hips here. Feel the knees pulling away from the elbows. Stay active through the legs, lift through the lower belly here. I know this can get really intense in the hips, so do your best. From here, bring your fingertips behind your right butt cheek again. Lower your left knee down to the floor. This time, follow it by lowering your right knee down to the floor. Then push into your right shin, rise up, squeeze the glutes, get tall, and then sit the hips back down. Lift the left knee up, return both knees to center. Left hand comes behind the back, nice tall spine. Right knee drops down towards the floor. Left knee drops down towards the floor. Push into the left shin, rise up, lift up, squeeze the glutes, get tall. Sit the hips back, lift the right knee up, lift the left knee up, return to center. 1 more time each way, fingertips behind the back. Again, lengthen the spine, lower the left knee down. Try and break this down piece by piece. Lower the right knee down. Rise onto the right shin, feel the external rotation, the front right hip. Sit the hips back down. Left knee lifts, right knee follows. You're back in your squat. Left fingertips behind the back, tall spine. Right knee lowers. Left knee lowers, push into the left shin, rise up, squeeze the glutes, get as tall as you possibly can. Sit the hips back down, right knee lifts, left knee lifts, return to center. Wiggle the feet a little bit wider if you can, last bit in squat. All I want you to do is round down as much as you possibly can. So imagine that you're trying to put your forehead onto the floor. Take a few breaths there, maybe you nuzzle in, pull the knees wider apart. If you want to bounce here a few times, feel free. Waking up the legs. And then release, hands down. Let the palms be flat. Come on to hands and knees. And circle the shoulders over the wrists a few times. A lot of that work in the hips can be quite intense, but I hope it will help you feel better as we go through the journey of the practice. Push into the thumbs here. Get strong and active as you lift through the lower belly. Take an inhale. And on your exhale, go ahead and step back into your plank pose. As you find the top of the push-up, feel the activity in the glutes that you had when we were doing some of the work in squat. Feel the glutes engage, and then push the hips down slightly to lengthen the collarbones out, and then use your core to lift everything back up. You'll notice much more integration in the position. Get active in the hands, support yourself here, and then roll back into Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Push into the hands just a little bit more. Tilt the tailbone up to the sky just a bit. Breathe into the lower belly. Inhale, roll forward into your plank pose. And exhale, roll back into your downward facing dog. 1 more time. Inhale, roll forward into your plank pose. And exhale, roll back into your downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the right leg up to the sky. Lower your left forearm down to the floor and peel your right hip up a little bit more. From here, I want you to draw big circles with your right knee. So feel some movement in the hip. Let the circles be both clockwise and counterclockwise. So try and take about 4 in one direction. And then switch course. Take 4 in the other direction. Feel a nice freedom of movement through the right leg. And when you get all that done, balance yourself out and switch your side. So return the right foot next to the left. Lift the left leg up to the sky. Lower the right forearm down. Squeeze left heel to butt. Try and keep the left arm straight. But again, really, this movement is just about drawing big circles with the left knee. So go 3 or 4 clockwise and then 3 or 4 counterclockwise. Doesn't really matter what you do first. Just kind of feel some of that tension and that tightness and that lack of range of motion slowly moving away. When you finish, go ahead and close everything off and find Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Inhale, roll forward into your plank pose. On the exhale here, lower all the way to the floor in 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. As your body lands, oscillating cobra pose, fingertips push down. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. 2 more here. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. Set the hands as you would for your upward facing dog. Push into the tops of the feet. Inhale, rise up. Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Push down through the thumbs, pull the hips forward, roll the shoulders onto the back. And then on your exhale, come to plank pose and lower all the way back down to the floor. As you get there, take the left hand out in front of your face and your right hand just slightly off the mat, and then rise into upward facing dog with your hands like this. So it'll just help you twist open to the right a little bit more. Allow your left hip to be heavy. Breathe into your left side body, left rib cage. And then exhale, return to center. Let's switch that up. The right hand will come middle. The left hand will come just slightly out to the left side. Push the tops of the feet down. And then inhale, rise. Take your breath into your right side waist. Feel more lift and elevation. Push into the right thumb. And then exhale, release. Return to center. And push the hips back, child's pose. Allow the hips to be heavy here. Reach through the arms. Let the chest sink down just a bit. Drive through the thumbs. And then find your downward facing dog. As you get there, inhale, lift the right leg up. And on the exhale, step the right foot to the outside of the right hand. As it lands, lower the left knee down. Twist and reach your right arm up to the sky. Try and push the left hip forward. On your exhale, right hand to the ground. Lift the left knee, straighten the right leg as you push the hips back in space. Bend the right knee, step the left foot to the outside of the left hand. Sit the hips low, active squat, reach the hands forward. Exhale, straighten legs, hands to heart. Inhale, reach the hands all the way up. Exhale, sit the hips all the way back down. Inhale, hands to floor, elbows bend. Step or float back right into your vinyasa position, so chaturanga. You can find up dog first or right into plank. Knees and forearms drop. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale all the way back, downward facing dog. Inhale, the left leg lifts. On the exhale, left foot to outside of left hand. Drop the right knee down, twist and reach here. Allow this movement to come from the spine and the shoulder. Feel the hips stable because that's what's going to help open them up. On the exhale, left hand to the floor. Right knee lifts, left leg straightens, fold to the inside of the left leg. Maybe you feel some buoyancy through the upper body, finding the shift in energy. Bend the left knee, step the right foot to the outside of the right hand. Sit the hips low, active squat. Exhale, straighten legs, hands to heart. Inhale, reach the hands all the way up. Exhale, sit the hips all the way down. Place the hands on the floor, your vinyasa. Step, walk, float. Find a rhythm to your movement. Sync the breath as you go from place to place. Now that we've taken this journey into active squat stepping, you have the opportunity to float right into it. So push into the palms, lift heels, bend knees. Bottom of exhale, step or float feet to outside of hands. Inhale, active squat. Exhale, straighten legs, hands to heart. Inhale, reach the hands all the way up. Exhale, sit the hips down. Inhale, hands to floor. As you get here, changing it up, step the left foot back. Roll to the outer edge of both feet. Twist and reach the right hand towards the ceiling. Try and lift the left hip higher so you feel more of a sensation and stretch in your upper right glute, side waist, low back area. On your exhale here, you're going to pivot your right toes to the top left corner of the mat as you drop the left heel down and find Skandasana into your front right foot. Try and pull the right knee apart or pull the right knee away from your hips. Try to not pull your right knee apart. Keep it intact. That's a much more important thing. Take one breath here and then sway all the way across Skandasana on the other side. Let the hips sit low. Again, pull the left knee wider. Breathing in here. And then swing forward. Low lunge to the top of the mat. Allow your hands to go as far forward as possible. And then from here, drop the left knee down. Maybe drop the forearms down. Let the left hip hunt the floor. Ground through the right heel. Lift the collarbones. And then walk your hands back underneath the shoulders. Push into the palms, step back to your plank pose, move through vinyasa. So use the vinyasas to heat you up. Use the journey forward to help you find your strength as well. And then use the other parts of the practice to become more aware of space. Push into the palms as you get back to down dog. Take a deep inhale and a long exhale. And then lift heels, bend knees. On your next exhale, step or float feet to outside of hands. Inhale, active squat. Exhale, straighten legs, hands to heart. Inhale, reach the hands all the way up. Exhale, sit the hips all the way down. Inhale, hands to floor. Step the right foot to the back edge of the mat. Roll to the outer edge of both feet. Twist and reach your left arm towards the ceiling. Scoop the right hip underneath you just a little bit more. Push through the right thumb. See if you can lift the right hip just a bit higher. One more inhale here. On your exhale, left toes pivot to point towards the top of the mat in some capacity. Sit into your Skandasana, into your front left knee. Try and balance out the hips here. Try and lengthen the lower back. Same work that we did in squat. And you can have 4 points of contact with the floor. Remember that, right? You can be deep or you can be high. We're just kind of working the space that feels available to you. Swing over to the other side, finding your Skandasana. Again, feel some space here. Find some movement through the hips. And then journey all the way forward. Low runner's lunge. When you get there, I want you to start by walking your hands out long. Nuzzle into some of this deeper hip opening space. Hopefully you're finding some of it here. And then you can lower the right knee down and even lower the forearms down to the floor if that feels good to you. If the forearms are down and the right knee is down, see if you can almost drag the right knee up towards the left heel to push the right hip down towards the floor. A nice, easy, steady position here. Don't overwork it, don't overthink it, just allow yourself to be. Hopefully you're starting to feel a lot more space through the hips. Go ahead and bring the hands back underneath the shoulders. Step the left foot back and vinyasa. Find the rhythm to moving from place to place. As you get back to down dog, one more full round of this sequence. So push into hands, lift heels, bend knees. Bottom of exhale, step or float feet forward, active squat. Inhale, rise into the position. Feel the strength of your legs. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, reach the hands all the way up, open the front line of the body. Exhale, sit the hips all the way down. Inhale, hands to the floor, step the left foot back long. Roll to the outer edge of both feet, twist and reach. Let the right hand up, get longer, get taller here. Feel the right shoulder rolling onto the back. And then Skandasana, into your front right foot. So pivot yourself around. And again, camera really wasn't facing on the second side there when I gave some options, but use your hands if you need to, or if you want to be upright and kind of hovering here, because that's where you feel more benefit from the work, that's fantastic. Just be where you are. Swing over to the other side and find a depth that's interesting to you. Take your breath, take your time with the position, and then swing forward to your front right foot. Low lunge. Try and allow the left knee to drop. Walk the hands forward. Try and lower the forearms down. Breathe the collarbones longer. Try and lengthen the lower back space. Adding in one more pose this time. Walk the hands back just underneath the shoulders or close to, maybe slightly in front. Lift the left knee off the ground. Drop the left heel down. Wrap the right armpit around the right knee. Place fingertips in front of toes and then twist and reach your left arm up and overhead. So a very deep variation of Parshva Konasana, side angle pose. See if you can really roll the left shoulder onto the back body. Engage your core, lift the lower belly. On your exhale, hands to the floor. Nice work. Step back to your plank pose. Optional vinyasa. Or just mosey back to downward facing dog. Sometimes moseying back to down dog is the best available option. So don't feel like you're doing less if you're not doing vinyasas. You're just taking the practice into your own hands, which is great. Last side here, push into the hands, lift heels, bend knees. Step or float feet to outside of hands. Inhale, find your active squat. I really want you to focus on widening the space between the knees. Exhale, straighten legs, hands to heart center. Inhale, reach the hands all the way up. Exhale, sit the hips all the way down. Inhale, hands to the floor, elbows bent. Step the right foot back long. Roll to the outer edge of both feet. Twist and reach the left arm up as you scoop the right hip underneath you. Most available space there. On your exhale, Skandasana into your left leg, your front leg. So find the space that's interesting. Again, you can go all the way down. You can have 4 points of contact, or you can be lifted. Swing over to the back right foot, finding, again, a symmetrical variation to your other side. Breathing in here. And swing to the front left foot. The low, low lunge position. Feel supported here. Feel less work coming into the shape, into the asana. Allow these grounding points to take over the pose, right? You have the forearms down, left foot. Good portion of the right leg is in connection with the floor. And just tap into your breath a bit more here. The physicality of the position is set up. Can you breathe into the upper chest? Can you keep the neck long? Can you take the gaze, your drishti, your vision, and move it slightly forward? Slowly bring the hands back. Begin to wrap the left armpit around the left knee as you hug it to the middle. Tuck the right toes, lift the right knee up, drop the right heel, and then stretch the right arm up and overhead. Longest side body position here in your side angle pose. Use the fingertips of the left hand to pull the collarbones out. Twist the right arm up and overhead. Breathing here for 5, 4, 3, 2. On one, right hand to the floor as you roll onto the right toes. Step back to your plank pose. Optional vinyasa. And then we'll mosey back into downward facing dog. Hips are probably feeling pretty open here. So go ahead and inhale, lift the right leg up, and then bring the right shin forward towards your pigeon pose. But instead of staying there, bump the left knee forward too. So you're almost in like this little 90-90 or deer-esque position. And all I want you to do here is roll the chest down and then creep it over to the right side. And then lift up and roll around. So you're just kind of feeling some movement here. Maybe you do this 4 or 5 times. You can really take any variation, maybe try and have the left elbow touch the floor, right? You can lift more out of the pose if you want. But just kind of find some movements here. And then, after those 5, lengthen the left leg back. And you'll notice that you have just a bit more space in your more traditional variation of the pigeon pose. So set yourself up. Find stillness. And we'll take a few breaths here. Outer edge of right foot drives down. Left toes. Maybe tuck and lift to help you readjust your pelvic position. Heavy in the left hip. And then walk the hands underneath the shoulders. Step the right foot back to meet the left. Downward facing dog. And we'll just switch sides. So bring the left shin forward, setting up for your pigeon pose. Of course, trying to bring the left shin parallel. And then from here, bump the right knee up so it's in line with the right hip. And all you're going to do is this little swinging action. So you're going to roll the chest forward and then out to the left side. We're going to do this about 5 times. And again, it's not about it being right or wrong. It's just kind of about you finding some movements here. So that's 2, 3, 4, and 5. Rising up. And then swing the right leg back further. Reassess, readjust your own physicality, your own physical vessel as you begin to melt into your variation of the pigeon pose. A nice long spine, driving through the left foot. Breathing into the upper body. Creating an ease to where you are right now. About 3 more breaths here. What can you do with them? How can you find your center? Slowly bring the hands underneath the shoulders. Instead of going back to down dog, just drop the left hip down, swing the right leg around, make your way onto your back. Final pose of the practice, 1 bridge pose. So tips of fingertips touch backs of Achilles tendons, and then just drive the hips up. Should feel a lot of freedom there. See if you can squeeze the shoulders together and lengthen through the front line of the body. Hold here for 5, 4, 3, 2. Let everything go on 1. Allow the feet to go wide. Allow the knees to drop in. Find your soft space. Feel your spine rooted to the floor. Some part of forearms and hands rooted to the floor. Back of skull rooted to the floor. And just take a moment for yourself here. Take a moment to breathe. Maybe close your eyes. Scan the body. And allow your nature to be gentle. Allow it to be kind. Not only towards yourself, but towards the environments, people, and situations in your life. As always, thank you so much for taking time to practice with me here on YouTube. I hope to see you again soon. Namaste.